So artificial intelligence has been a really big hot topic over the past couple of months with ChatGPT hitting the airwaves and the internet, and teachers going crazy because the kids are going on and just getting their homework done for them and whatever. What we're going to focus on today is we're going to concentrate on generative artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has been around a lot longer than what some people think it has. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about a crypto project that is associating itself with a traditional tech company to build or to blend Web3 and artificial intelligence together. Before we get into generative AI and what that's all about, let's discuss and go through a brief history, very brief, of artificial intelligence. In the first half of the 20th century, science fiction familiarized the world with the concept of artificial intelligence robots. By the 1950s, we had a generation of scientists, mathematicians, and philosophers with the concept of artificial intelligence, or AI, culturally assimilated in their minds. One such person was Alan Turing, a young British polymath who explored the mathematical possibilities of artificial intelligence. Turing suggested that humans use available information as well as reason in order to solve problems and make decisions. So why can't machines do the same thing? This was the logical framework of the 1950 paper, Computing, Machinery, and Intelligence. And I'm going to link that report in the description box below. So that way, if you want to go back and look at it, you can. We now live in an age of big data, an age in which we have the capacity to collect huge sums of information too cumbersome for a person to process. The application of artificial intelligence intelligence in this regard has already been quite fruitful in several industries such as technology, banking, marketing, and entertainment. If you call, like let's say for example, someone is speaking to you, or if you're on a website and you get I'm going to use that for a bot. That's AI, that's artificial intelligence. So you're not speaking to a real person, you're speaking to like a virtual assistant. You ask a question, then they answer it with the data, the information that they have. That's artificial intelligence. So what's in store for the future, which actually is a perfect segue into generative AI. So what is in store for the future? In the immediate future, AI language is looking like the next big thing. In fact, it's already underway. Now, by the way, this paper that I'm reading, this document that I'm reading to you from, was from 2017. So just to give a context. So this was 5 or 6 years ago, and it's just giving kind of a future glimpse of, what back in 2017, where they thought AI was going. So what's in store for the future? In the immediate future, AI language is looking like the next big thing. In fact, it's already underway. I can't remember the last time I called a company, see, I was just saying this, and directly spoke with a human. These days, machines are even calling me. One could imagine, yeah, by the way, anytime you get that recorded, I don't know how many of you guys, I get like 10 or 15 of these things a day, like telemarketers or whatever, and there's no one on the end of the line, that's AI. That's AI at work. So I guess it saves on rejection, so when you hang up the phone, you don't have to feel as bad that you're hanging up on a real person. We can also expect to see driverless cars. All right, that's coming. Tesla, I'm dropping a name. Elon, I expect my royalty check in the mail next week. Thank you very much. So a lot of what this document was saying is actually turning to fruition now. As we're aware, ChatGPT it hit in the ending of December and January, and it's just been exploding. Everyone's using it, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. All right, my friends, hold on to your hats for this. So the world of general AI. So essentially, let's actually talk about what it is. Generative AI is the part of artificial intelligence that can generate all kinds of data, including audio code, images, text, simulations, 3D objects, videos, and so forth. You can create video just with text. it's a lot more robust and it's a lot more, I guess, immersive. And I could see this being heavy into like Web3 gaming, metaverse, all these kinds of things. It's like chocolate and peanut butter. You watch. This is gonna, within the next 5 years, metaverse, it's gonna be combined extensively with generative AI. This image right here, if you're able to kind of see what it's about, this actually right here, the Shiba Inu dog, that, my friends, is an AI. That's a generative AI image created by information that was put into a text. So you can see where artificial intelligence is going to be going. But that's an amazing image from text. Because AI is developing so rapidly, and especially with generative AI, where, you know, you can create a video just by typing in information. Like with the Shiba Inu dog. That was an image, but I've seen video from text where it's very descriptive, and it takes the description in text and manifests it or transposes it into a video format. Some negatives that need to be addressed, one of which is the ethical use of artificial intelligence. Now, by the way, I'm not sure if anyone has ever seen, and I'm maybe dating myself, back in the 80s, there was a movie called War Games with Matthew Broderick. You guys ever seen it? If you saw it, let me know what you thought. That is straight up a demented AI. Artificial intelligence takes knowledge that we put in it, right? We are creating its database. We're creating its knowledge center. We're teaching it. It's like a child. The child doesn't know how to, dress him or herself. We have to teach them. Then once they have it, then they become very, very good at it and they learn. It's that kind of concept where we've got to be mindful globally of the use and uses, the ethical uses of artificial intelligence. Just because it's one of those things, just because we have a thing doesn't mean we necessarily have to use that thing in every situation. And so when it comes to the ethical standpoint of it, we've got to be very, very careful. And those who are developing these AI products, I'm glad at least, and again, I know of only Sony is kind of like they're doing some global work to try to create some sort of a framework, a structure when it comes to their artificial intelligence. And so that's really exciting to see that there's responsibility. It goes back to that paper that I read where the ethical implications are massive. All right, and they cannot be understated. Regulations is going to be another area, and I think that needs to be, I'm sure each country will have its own, but, it's like once you let that genie out of the bottle, there's no putting him back. Generative AI can do so much more, all right? And it's just beginning. The capabilities of generative AI will just keep on growing, and so we need to make sure that we're reining in, that technology to use it for good, like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. We need to make sure that we're being gatekeepers and caretakers of this technology so it doesn't go crazy and start doing more damage than it does good. When we're using this technology, to always be careful how much we really believe, and it's always important to verify whatever source material you get, or if you're hearing a quote or someone said this, if you ask a question, if your kids are creating an essay at school for homework, you shouldn't be doing that. Making sure that everything's verifiable, because again, we don't know how accurate that information is that we're getting when we're going on to, say, a ChatGPT. Bias is another area of concern. Whoever is putting in the information, if there's any biases that they may have, that will come into that artificial intelligence, that AI model. So that's another reason to make sure that we're being ethical with our use and development of it and deployment of it. We're regulating it, and we're also being mindful of any biases that come into play when developing an artificial intelligence model. Artificial intelligence is going to lose jobs. The tricky part of it is, and this goes back into like a corporate, possibly a corporate setting, is honestly, it's not the artificial intelligence that you have to worry about. It's the person who is utilizing artificial intelligence to someone who is not. And there lies that ethical question. There lies that bias. There lies that regulation. Well, wait a minute. Is everything on an even playing field? So we need to be very careful. And I'm looking at, again, the corporate world, these big tech companies, Sony, Microsoft, all these different things. As we know, Microsoft is, in the process of acquiring or buying ChatGPT. So if you want to know, well, how do I get involved in artificial intelligence, not necessarily into the crypto space? Well, there you go. Microsoft. You've got these heavy hitters. You got Microsoft, you got Sony, you got Google. And if you think about it, especially Microsoft and Google, how much data do they have? And again, I always go back to the ethical question and the regulation question and the bias question. All these things, these have to be sorted out before I believe any mass adoption of generative AI or AI in general, development and deployment of it, this needs to happen beforehand, before it gets so out of control and so big, there's nothing that can be done. Now, I know I kind of projected possibly a perception of doom and gloom, and I don't feel that way. I feel that with anything new, like the car, right? When the Model T came out, you had a lot of people who were like, what is this? How do I do it? I'm used to riding my horse. Once that happens and once you get acclimated to it, then once you get adjusted to that technology, I think it becomes easier to accept and utilize. Now, I am also excited with the fact that crypto is, because there are some crypto projects that are attached to artificial intelligence. Crypto protocol Fetch.ai partners with Bosch to develop Web3 and AI tech. You're going to start seeing a lot of this, guys. You're going to start seeing these, like the Graft and Ocean and these other protocols, these cryptos, getting involved with tech companies to develop Web3 and IT tech together. Now, I'm really excited about that because it gives these crypto projects a lot more utility, more use case, and something that's sustainable, something that's going to last. That's not a pump and dump kind of situation. All right, electronics giant Bosch and artificial intelligence focused crypto protocol Fetch.ai are teaming up to create a foundation called the Fetch.ai Foundation. The Fetch.ai Foundation will research and develop Web3 technology for real-world use cases in areas such as mobility, industry, and consumers. It will also have a 3-tier governance structure and be inspired by the Linux Foundation's decentralized innovative model. So basically, what's happening here is Fetch.ai and Bosch are getting together, and I'll post this link in the description box below. All this information I'll post so you can look at it and check it out for yourself. And but I think that this is where crypto is going to be headed, because again, when we're talking about such a powerful technology as artificial intelligence and such a developing fast track technology as artificial intelligence, and especially generative AI, where that's the capabilities lie, I really expect to see more of crypto projects aligning themselves with these big tech companies, because it just makes sense. The money's there, like as I said earlier, it's like peanut butter and chocolate. They're going to go really well together. And I think artificial intelligence absolutely has its place. I think it's an amazing technology. I just want to make sure that when we are talking about artificial intelligence and when we are having that in a discussion, we're being mindful of the power that it has, the capabilities that it will have, and that it will continue to have. Artificial intelligence, generative AI, what do you think about it? Do you think it's the slippery slope? Do you think it's a dystopian mindset that we're having where, okay, now things are going to hell in a handbasket? Or do you think that AI and generative AI is going to be an amazing tool with tremendous utility and that you're excited about the future of it? So what do you think? Let me know, post your comments. And as always, if you like any of the videos I provide, please feel free to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. I appreciate you all. Have a fantastic day, and I hope you learned something a little bit AI and generative AI. I know I did. And remember, here at the Crypto Dojo, crypto never sleeps.